Hey, this is Les from the TV Dudes. Recently, I was lucky enough to sit down and chat with Colton Dunn, who worked on Key and Peele and plays Garrett on NBC's Superstore, which is now in its third season. Hope you enjoy.
How you doing, Les?
Doing great. Thanks for taking the time to do this interview.
No problem.
Season 3 of Superstore is going strong. Congratulations on all the success on that show.
Oh, thanks.
Just having kind of binge watched through to catch myself up before this interview, it's impossible to pick a favorite character. Garrett most often feels like the one that's the audience member walking through the room and just popping the crazy balloon of whatever idea the other ones go. You consistently manage to get off the line in the background that just makes me crack up.
Great.
3 seasons in, has your approach to playing Garrett changed? How do you see him in the dynamic of the store?
Yeah, it hasn't really, my approach hasn't really changed too much. The nice thing about this show is a lot of the characters are very much intertwined with how we are as people, the actors who are playing them. So, that's what's most fun about going to work every day is it's not too much work. I just kind of, like you said, I get to go there and kind of comment on how weird everything is, which is pretty fun to do. The one fun thing has just sort of been kind of taking that character and giving him, like every once in a while, kind of giving him those little moments outside of his comfort zone, like when there was a video game guy in the store and he kind of fanboyed out on him, or when he was trying to deal with his emotional feelings towards Dina. Those are always like the really fun things for me to kind of, when I get a chance to play a little bit more of, you see who Garrett is other than just seeing him react to stuff.
Yeah, season 3 has also gotten to kind of leave the store a little bit more, it seems, and explore kind of outside lives. Of the other characters' quirky, crazy lives, is there any story you'd like to see explored?
Well, for me, I really want to see Dina's house because she talks about having all these birds, the animals. And so I would love us to be able to see what sort of aviary she has set up in her house with these random uncaged birds. And I'm definitely really interested for when we got to see a little bit of Glenn's life when all of his adopted kids came to the store, but I would certainly like to see what life is like over at him and Jerusha's house with all those kids around as well.
Of the other actors in the cast, who most often makes you break in a scene, or who do you find most often cracks you up?
It's pretty much a tie between Lauren Ash and Mark McKinney. They're both such incredible improvisers, and they're so funny. And because, too, the sort of the nature of their characters, a lot of times they're standing up in front of all of us, kind of going through the day's events or whatever, and they have a lot of time to play. And a lot of times they're up there together, and when that happens, it's everybody's breaking. So, they're definitely... it is tough to keep a straight face when you're doing a scene with them.
You mentioned improv, and I know your improv roots go way back. What in high school first got you interested in improv? Who was making you laugh then that made you want to get into that?
Well, in high school, I was, watching, Saturday Night Live and Jim Carrey movies, and those were really making me laugh. And we ended up having this small theater called Comedy Sports that started a high school league. And so they came to our school and they auditioned a few students to be on the comedy sports team for my high school. And one of my teammates on that team was Nick Swartzen. And he was just so funny, even back then, that, he just really, really inspired me to stay with it and got me to have a lot of fun with comedy back in the day.
You still teach and perform with UCB, correct?
I do, yeah. I still do. Still work at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater. I have a show there every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. here in Los Angeles. It's such a fun theater to work with, and it's been so fun to see it kind of grow. When I first started in the theater, it was a small black box theater in New York, and now it's grown to have 2 theaters in New York and 2 theaters in Los Angeles and schools in both cities. It's been a real exciting ride to kind of watch how the small theater got so big. And, I think that's really due to what a great program they have there, and the classes and all the people who've been involved with the theater are just really fun and dedicated to comedy.
What kind of classes have you taught?
I taught a lot of improv classes and sketch writing classes. When I first moved out to Los Angeles, the theater just opened up, so I was one of the first teachers out here. And so I did a lot of the level 1 improv classes and the level 2 classes. At the Upright Citizen Brigade Theater, we teach a form called the Herald, which is a long-form improvisational form. So we pretty much focused on that through the classes. And then I also taught sketch writing classes at the UCB Theater, and those were at levels 1 and 2. And I've also taught for other theaters. I taught a writing for television class at the Second City school out here. Teaching's really fun, and it's a great way to make money when you're not working.
Do you feel like your comedy tastes have changed since comedy sports to now?
You know what? I really wish I could say that my comedy tastes have evolved, but they have not. Farts are just as funny to me now as they were in high school. I think that, I've gotten a little bit more eclectic in some of the comedy that I watch, and some of the things that I find funny, and obviously working and writing on Key and Peele and working on Superstore has given me an opportunity to explore different levels of comedy. But at the end of the day, all the stuff that made me laugh in high school still makes me laugh.
What's the first time that you remember laughing hard enough at something that you just couldn't get it together?
For me, I think my biggest laughing memory, it was going to see Billy Madison, which is an Adam Sandler movie. And I was in high school, and we went to go see this movie. And at one point in the movie, they have the story of Billy Madison is this idiot has to go back through school to prove to his dad that he's smart enough to get his inheritance. And that's Adam Sandler. And so at the end of the movie, he has this big test where he has this big academic test, and he's doing it against this other guy who is played by Bradley Whitford, and who's kind of the nemesis in the movie. And in the montage of this test, they're cooking pies in a home ec class, and Adam Sandler pulls out his pie, and he's done a okay job with it. And then you look over to Bradley Whitford, and he's started on fire for some reason, and then he's completely engulfed in flames. And I don't know why that always has made me laugh. I don't know what is funny about a guy on fire, but it makes me laugh.
I know you had worked at a couple of video stores back when those were a thing.
Yeah.
What was your recommended comedy rental? When you don't have the one they want, what was your go-to comedy that you'd hand to people?
I always recommended a movie called Crime Wave, which is a movie that was, I believe, directed by Sam Raimi and written by the Coen brothers. And it's a real zany, silly movie. It's very goofy, and most people haven't seen or heard of it. So that was usually my go-to recommendation. If somebody was looking for a comedy and they didn't know what to see, I recommend Crime Wave.
That's great. Is there anything you're really looking forward to coming up for Garrett on Superstore?
Yeah, well, we have a couple of pretty fun episodes coming up. There is a pretty good one that's coming up where Garrett is actually going to go to a Target with Glenn. I won't get too much into the details of why we go there, but I'm super excited to go to Target because I legitimately love Target.
I was going to say, I've heard you give a shout out to Target before.
Yeah, I love Target, man. I'm from Minnesota. It's a Minnesota company. I love Target. I go there all the time. And so I'm just excited that I get to go to a Target on my show. I think that's going to be a blast.
That's great. And so I know you did Laser Team And then you've got Laser Team 2's coming out, correct?
That's right. Laser Team 2 came out over Thanksgiving. Available now on YouTube Red.
What else have you got coming up on the horizon?
Well, I got another movie coming out that I'm in called Blockers, which is directed by Kay Cannon, who's the writer of the Pitch Perfect movie series. And it stars John Cena and Ike Barinholtz. It's a super funny movie, and I play a limo driver for a couple of girls who have made a virginity pact for their prom night. And they get into all sorts of misadventures with me at the wheel. And I'm excited. Should be coming out in March.
Well, thanks so much for taking time to talk to me. I've really been enjoying Superstore. Went through a bunch of interviews and stuff from you on YouTube, and it was cracking up. I did consider doing this phone call like the 7 Minutes in Purgatory, where we'd have nobody on this side of the line, and we just let you talk for 5 minutes.
Just let me answer the questions I think I hear.
Thanks for taking the time today.
All right. Take care.
You too.
The TV Dudes is an independently run podcast and a member of the Permanent Record Podcast Network. We are exclusively listener supported. If you'd like to help us out, please go to patreon.com/TVDudes. You can like us on Facebook and Twitter at TV Dudes, and help us out on iTunes by giving us a 5-star rating and writing a review. To find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com and permanentrcrd.com. I'm Grant Davis. Thanks for listening.